Wiltz is a small town in Luxembourg, only 20 kilometers from Bastogne, and was an important strategic point for the German army. On December 16, 1944, the Battle of the Bulge started. For 4 days from Clairvaux to Wiltz, the tanks of A and B Company, together with the 110th Regiment and its attached units, offered stiff resistance to the attacking German army, but the surprisingly superior number of German tanks eliminated many of the American tanks, making the situation cold and desperate. As the pressure from the German troops on the encircled town of Wiltz became too strong, many American tank crews had to retreat from their position, and some of them had to abandon the tanks entirely. And this brings us to the command Sherman of Lieutenant Colonel Richard W. Ripple, who also had to retreat from its position at the Café Halt at Erpeldange. They made it to Wiltz, but looking for a good firing position, the Sherman came under fire. In the chaos, Ripple's driver reversed the tank and crashed into a house, which collapsed instantly. The tank was now stuck under all the rubble, but somehow made its way out, and further back the Sherman ran into a dung pit, where it sank. In spite of all efforts and under heavy fire, the tank was stuck, and Ripple and his crew had no other choice but to abandon the Sherman. Moments later, Ripple and his crew were captured by the Germans and were sent to a POW camp for the remainder of the war. The Sherman became sort of a tourist attraction, and when the renovation of the town of Wiltz was well underway, the tank was removed from the dung pit and relocated to the Place de Martyrs, where it remained for more than 70 years until it was moved and restored in 2015. Lieutenant Colonel Ripple returned to Luxembourg in September 1994 and visited Wiltz, and was very surprised when he realized that the tank at the entrance of the town was his command tank during the beginning of the Battle of the Bulge. The Sherman today had a beautiful restoration by the great people at the Bastogne Barracks, with the old blood and guts right around the hall. It's been placed on a nice plateau, beautifully decorated with flowers and plants, overlooking the town of Wiltz. There are also a lot of informational boards telling the history of the town, the Battle of Wiltz, and the history of this tank. And if you look closely to the tank, you can still spot a lot of battle damage it took 73 years ago.